Good morning. Welcome to Blueprint the Culture. I am your host, Talia Johnson Huff, and I am joined today by an entire group of amazing people. I am joined by the Buffalo, Niagara, MWBE, and SDVOB Capacity Building Program participants. Yes, we are live. Let me show y'all. Okay, we are live. At WUFO, Mix 1080 AM, Power 96.5 FM. We are live. I'm so excited. We have the Cheryl Patterson from Patterson Communications in the house, our official PR, marketing, communications, all things Super Diva in the house today. I'm excited to be here. Just back another week. I just came back from the New York State Black, Puerto Rican, and Asian caucus, and it was an amazing time. I shared with this cohort yesterday, how much of an amazing time we had. I was invited by Senator April Baskins to be a part of her panel, and Senator April Baskins is pushing an incredible bill right now, and that is a post-construction bill that requires anyone that has state funds or anyone who is on state-funded land to continue to work with marginalized businesses. And so I was greatly honored to be a part of that panel, and just coming back, I'm so full of energy. It kind of re-energized me around helping minority, women, veteran owned businesses. And so glad to be back home in Buffalo, because Albany was a lot. It was a lot. And so I just want to let my guests introduce themselves one by one. And I'm going to start with, Marcus is always here, so he's been here twice, so I'm going to just call him a Blueprint the Culture alumni. We're going to start with Marcus J. Moses.
Hi, I'm Marcus J. Moses. I own two companies, Top of the Line Cleaning Incorporated. I've been in business for 27 years. And I also started a company called One Marketing, where I do my own in-house marketing, as well as I help service-based businesses, help them to streamline their help, such as your administrative tasks, your calendar, your whole marketing strategy, to help you put all things in one place and deal with your customers intentionally.
Awesome. Marcus, thank you for joining us yet again. And I'm going to go right around the table since she holds her English. So she lied. Okay, she is here. Come on, introduce yourself. They don't know you.
Right. Hello, everyone. My name is Ebony Pace. I am the owner of Elite Personal Assistants. My company is actually a consulting business. We specialize in travel and event planning. So it can be anything small, from a birthday trip to, again, a reunion somewhere. We are actually here because of Talia, and she is, helping me see my vision to move into the corporate sector. So I would like to work with large groups and move into helping, again, schools and companies actually coordinate their actual retreats and, again, their events throughout the year. So I'm available for small and big, though. Small and big.
Thank you so much. That was so dope. I'm so excited to see where this goes and grows into. And Miss Isis, who she look like, y'all? We're not gonna say that.
Well, thank you. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm like the newbie here, but yes. So my name is Isis. I am the founder of Goddess Cafe Inc. INC, and my business is a catering business. I am fairly new, family owned, Black woman owned. So I am looking to bring healthy eating from soil to farm, from soil to table kind of a way of catering. I want to be able to introduce healthy eating back into food that we know and love, but to make sure that we can, have food feed into us and not, the opposite way. I want to make sure that, we feed life into what we create, and also it be something that, we can thrive from. So I own a catering business that is, strictly right now just desserts, but we're moving into meal preps. We're doing large events, weddings, corporate, schools, things like that. We want to make sure everybody can, eat healthy and have, long, thriving lives.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Talk about you nervous. Girl, what? You natural. You are a natural. Yes, thank you so much. Welcome, all my guests. Yesterday was the official kickoff of the Buffalo, Niagara, MWBE, and SDVOB Capacity Building Program. Can y'all tell that I created that?
Oh my God. Yes.
Because I can say that 10 times real fast. it was, first of all, shout out to Dennis Wilson for opening OakkHaus up to us. OakkHaus, what a beautiful space, beautiful place. Love everything about what he's doing down at OakkHaus. You know, Dennis opened up. He ain't stay with us long. He was like, I got a meeting. I do what y'all do. Amazing time. Left us with the bartender. Shout out to Kate.
Hey, Kate.
Yes, she was awesome. So I'm super excited about, you know, us kicking it off there. We also had Sinitra Ferguson, who was a guest on Blueprint the Culture last week, and she was there from Erie County, and she gave some information out to everyone who attended. And I really just want to go around and let people know, first of all, this capacity building program is unlike any you've ever attended. And I'm not saying it because I created it. I'm saying it because I created it. But I'm saying it because, you know, there's something big about collaboration when people come together, right? One band, one sound, one accord. Hello, Tashiko. Shout out to Tashiko. She's on my live. She's always joining us. Hey, girl. But it's something really strong and beautiful about seeing marginalized businesses come together and really talk about, you know, their strengths, their weaknesses, and also just be transparent and feel safe, right? A lot of times we're talking about, hey, can you pray for me? But we notice that people are praying on us, right? They're not looking for our building. They're there for our downfall, to try to figure out how they can scrape and get over us. And that's not what we experienced last night. And so I want each of you, because I can talk about, you know, like pump it up all I want. Before I move forward, shout out to M&T Charitable Foundation for funding this pilot program. I truly am appreciative. This is a kickoff or spinoff from the Buffalo Niagara MWBE Training Day Conference that this year will be right back at 500 Pearl, October 22nd. Okay. All we know is it's the third Thursday of October. We are there. Okay. So save the date. We'll be coming around soon, but the conference is in full effect. Every attendee of the capacity building program will be graduating on that day in front of all of our guests. And so I'm super excited about that. They're going to be getting training, teaching, education, collaboration, and working with procurement officers to get to the bag, to get to these contracts, right? We're going to be doing that for 9 months. How do y'all feel about that?
I am uber excited.
Okay, let me go one by one. Okay. Isis, I'm going to start with you. How are you feeling about the capacity building program? How was your experience last night? Like your first time really meeting everyone?
So I take notes.
Hold the notebook out, honey.
And it's funny because after the whole experience, and you're probably not going to believe me because you weren't there, so next time sign up. But it was one of those very like fulfilling, elevating, you know, like I felt like I found my place. And it was like, yo, I love these people already. I don't even know these people. I met them last night. Like, you know, I barely like half the family members that I have. No, funny. I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, so one of the things, and it's funny because I can't even find the note, but that's okay. I will eventually. Anyways, when I was taking the notes and you were giving us so many gems, one of the things I wrote down was, I think I found my place. These are my people. And the reason being is because, you know, being somebody who started a business solo, you know, and I asked for help, I looked for help, I did the research, I called people, I emailed people, and it's funny how her and I actually were introduced because I ended up seeing a billboard for MWBE, and the first thing that I saw was minority, woman, black owned. I need that. Like it's calling to me. And I called and I emailed, and nobody got back to me. And as she mentioned, I worked at a specific hotel. So, you know, I was chit-chatting with her husband, ironically, and he was like, yeah, my wife does this great, you know, X, Y, and Z, and we were going into it, and I'm just like, oh my God, I need to meet her. And before he told me, like, who she was, he explained the business. I was like, people did not respond to me. They didn't, and I'm sad about it. And he was like, let me go get her. And so he ran to get her, and he told her, you know, what we discussed, and she was so like enthusiastic about it. She like gave me this energy that I'm like, oh my God, okay. So it's like I am on the right track, but like I really want to be a part of this cohort. And then before you know it, I got this email randomly, and it was like, you know, we want you to join. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like it's my start. But I'm like, you know, people say all these things and they tell you that, you know, they have all these experiences, but when you actually when I sat there last night and I heard, you know, her give part of her testimony and just show like, listen, you know, I'm comfortable where I'm at, but I want to make sure everybody else is at that point too. You don't hear that from people. And so I'm just like, I want people to feel like I did. Like I left like I could fly yesterday. You know, like when I went home, I'm like, I'm probably gonna cry, and I'm okay with that because y'all don't even understand what this did for me as a person. You know, and I'm not trying to, you know, sound like I'm just fluffing it up. No, if you were there, you would have felt the energy in the room was magnetic. Like, you know, even when I walked in, the first person that I met, her name's Mo. Shout out to Mo. She has a cabaret ladies night coming up this Saturday at the Pink Butterfly Lounge. I don't get paid for that. I'm just saying. But you know, even her telling me about her cabaret night and you know how it being mostly women, except for a chef. I will shout him out too. Right. So it's like her even saying that. I'm like, oh my goodness, I just said I want to do cabaret and I want to do it, but I want to see it, you know. And I'm like, that is something that you know I was actually looking into. And then another girl walked in. Her name was Alex, and she had this style about her, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm vibrating with you because first of all, it's you. You know, it's not anybody else. It's your own particular style. You decided that this is what it was, and I'm like, oh yes, I love it. And not only that, but she's like, I do this, but I want to make people feel good on a budget. So who don't want a thrifty shop and look luxurious while doing it?
Look
so
at her
I'm
shouting
like,
out her. Come on, shout out your cohort.
We gotta be one band, one sound, like you said. So it's like I said, if y'all were there, if y'all would have, you know, been in the room, y'all would have felt how magnetic it was, you know, like, and just to see already people having your back, like this guy over here. You're taking a picture, and I forgot I had my headphones on. You want to take the headphones off? Professional. And I'm like, you know what? You're so right. You is so right. So, you know, like I said, it just was a great experience, and I do hope, you know, everybody is able to, you know, see us progress. And I'm just excited, you know, to get to October, though I'm not trying to rush it, but I just can't wait to be able to say, like, no, I joined that cohort. Look at how successful my business is thanks to Miss Talia Johnson. Like, I shouted her out last night on Facebook. I couldn't tag her, but, you know, I did tell her, I'm like, listen, absolutely amazing day. Shout out to you, you know, and thank you. So I do sincerely thank you because, you know, again, you're taking the time out of your busy day, you going back and forth to Albany, doing all of these things, and being a representation that we're looking for. You know, when they say be the change that you want to see, I'm seeing it. And I'm like, even down to her car, I'm like, oh, she got my dream cars. I'm like,
I promise y'all I didn't pay her. I did not pay her.
Right. I don't get no checks. This is all for free pro bono. So I'm telling you, it's real. And if anybody who knows Isis from Buffalo, y'all know I gotta get my money, okay? So, this is real. So I don't want to take too much time, but thank you.
No, you took your time. Isis did your thing. Thank you. Thank you. That is, I'm not gonna say nothing. How was your experience? And give the 60-second Isis speech, because we're gonna call it the Isis speech. Because Isis gave her "I Have a Dream," and I was there for it.
Was you there last night?
I traveled back to last night.
So my experience kind of, again, goes along with hers. You know, everybody don't know, but I wore this shirt yesterday, and I wore it again today for a reason. Because it is amazing to have a black queen that is in this community, building up her community, standing for her people, and making sure that we all have access to the same things that we should. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was really a powerful movement because, you know, besides Marcus and one other gentleman, you know, it was all them girls in there. You know what I'm saying? We about our business, and I continue to see that. And so to actually have someone who's willing to help us is such an important part of being in business because, like she was saying, everybody's on different levels. So for a startup to be able to talk to somebody in the middle, to be able to work with Marcus, who's been in business for 27 years, like to have the blueprint, you know, it's just so amazing for that. So I just felt like, you know, again, like she was saying, like, you know, it's my time. That was actually a part of my testimony this morning when I was meditating. You know, I definitely felt like it was my time, and, you know, just being in the right place at the right time, you know, kind of the same thing. I was in capacity building in December, and then I went to the Illuminate in January, and then I got my email. I was like, okay, God, I see you putting me where I need to be with the people who actually care to help. So, you know, that's what's important. So
I'm so glad. Oh my God, I'm so glad. I love Marcus, the Blueprint the Culture alumni.
So my thoughts on the whole situation. Since October, I've been infused with an energy of clarity and leadership. And so 2026 is my year of clarity and leadership, and aligning myself with the right people to help not just catapult myself, but also help elevate them in the process. Yeah. I'm just thinking about last night. I came in, I was introduced, I came in a little bit late, I was coming from another event, but I felt the energy and the warmth of what was transpiring in there. And then when we looked at the curriculum of what we were going to be going through for the 9 months, and they re-equated that to the birth of a baby.
Right.
We're all in business, and after this 9 months, we're going to give birth to our businesses, basically.
Yes.
And so, and then when we did the breakout, and then we all ended up being together.
How'd this happen?
How did this happen? And to go into each other's businesses and identify issues that we may be having, we just come to find out that we have the same synergy, and we're looking for the same clarity, capacity to be able to build the connections with minority business, and to have, what was it, Sinitra was in the room?
Sinitra Ferguson from the county, Erie County.
I'm in the process of getting my application completed, and I went and met with Kayla Witherspoon, and Sinitra was upstairs. She wasn't able to join the room. However, to actually see her in person there yesterday, I'm making these connections. I met Sinitra at the conference, and and I received the email from her to get my application going. I'm like, okay, this is all meant to happen at the same time. To go in there and she's there, and I'm like, okay, so now I'm going to get the clarification.
More confirmation.
I've been digging in the contract reporter and all that, and trying to figure out how to situate myself in the best way possible so that I'm a resource as well as can benefit and help others.
Absolutely.
And so I just can't wait for the next class for us to get the things that we need for our businesses blueprinted out.
Yes.
Our standards operation of procedures and all the things so we prepared to be able to get these contracts. They're there. There will be no more waivers that these companies will be signing because they don't have people available to match what's necessary. So to situate ourselves in the best way possible, to qualify ourselves, get our capability statements together. If we have one, get it revamped. If we don't know what it is, to find out exactly how to qualify ourselves. Get a presentation ready so that we can be able to pitch ourselves to these constituents, and have someone at the forefront and down for us. Going all the way to Albany and talking to these people.
Like who?
Cheryl's here, y'all. Cheryl's here. Give her a mic.
Talking to these people to help us to align ourselves with them. So I'm super excited. I'm here to pour in what I can contribute, and to take in and be a sponge to suck through the energy that was there and that's going to continue to be there.
Marcus, that was so well spoken. That you literally summed up what the capacity building program is about. That's the entire purpose of, the MWBE conference. That's the entire purpose of, being together and building together, right? Like, there's a ton of programs. Like, I've been in a ton of programs. I always shout out NYPA. Shout out to NYPA, New York Power Authority program. They have an amazing capacity building program. And most of that program it was virtual. And I felt similar synergy, but there is something about when businesses are in the room together, when you can touch and agree, right? And you can come together and you can lay your hands on this paper that your constituent or your partner is working on, and saying, like, hold my hand, I want to cry right now because my finances may not be in place and I really want to go after this contract. Like, who's going to be able to pray with me, or who's going to be able to say, like, girl, I got you, or let me sit with you and let's go over this RFP. Like, sometimes we need more than just what's written in paper. We need more than instructions. We need more than this is how you break down an RFP. But what if I have a question? What if I have a problem with comprehending sometimes, right? Because we are at all different levels. And that was one of the things that when I was on a panel with April Baskin, and Senator April Baskin was hosting, but I was on the panel. I was the only business owner on the panel, and at first I felt a little bit intimidated. I'm like, okay, I'm the only business owner on this panel. These are procurement officers. These are people who are working with us and know what they're looking for from us. And once I began talking, they were like, oh my gosh, like, you don't know what a business needs. You don't know what a business requires until you fail. And I'm not saying that I want anybody to ever feel that. I never want anybody to feel the level of failure or rock bottomness, if that's a word, right, that I felt before. But I always say that my failure was purposeful. you know, me just continuing to run. And I give a little bit about it, obviously. Hey, Tammy Kid said, that's my boy Marcus Moses, Tammy So, you know, I give a little bit of my testimony because we only have a couple minutes left, so it's my show. I can do that. But I wrote the book Black in Business, which is a double entendre. If you do not know, it's a curriculum. I wrote the book, and then as I was reading the book, it was difficult for me to read my own book because it really started out as just me getting my thoughts and feelings out. And I'm like, this is not purposeful. This is not, I don't want to dump on someone. I don't want them to read my book and feel like I'm dumping on them just so that I can get it out. Because if that's the case, I can journal, right?
Yeah.
But as I was writing the book, as I was, you know, thinking and planning, I'm like, what if I had a journal? So I was writing the book, and then I wrote the book, and I was sitting there and I had a notebook, and I was like jotting down things, and I'm like, I need a workbook. And so I'm like, what would a workbook look like if it were to come from me?
Right.
Crazy, right? It would look a little crazy. It would look a little colorful, a little extra. And I'm like, I'm gonna create it. And so that's what I created. But I will tell you that I wanted my book to be conversational. I wanted it to be a book that you can read and it feels like you sitting there talking to your homeboy or your homegirl or the person that you vent to. It's like, okay, before we start, make sure you turn this song on and listen because this is gonna be the vibe of this book. Like, that's the conversation that I wanted to have with business owners. And every encounter that I have with a small business, whether marginalized or not, okay, because we had one nonprofit in the room last night, and she was the unicorn in the room. She showed up at the Illuminate. I actually met her at Builders with Baskin's event. It was Senator April Baskin's event, and she followed me. And when Illuminate came, she showed up. And I'm like, how am I going to tell this woman that you cannot certify a nonprofit? I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to turn her down. I'm not going to turn her away. I'm going to let her come because guess what? Each and every one of these business owners is a service provider. So I also want her in the room. So I say all of that to say, if you are a business owner, if you are a marginalized business, if you are a minority, a woman-owned business, a veteran-owned business, service-disabled veteran-owned business, and you are saying, I am looking for my tribe. You know, I need someone or some place that I can come that is safe. Because we're not putting your business on the street, okay? We are not sharing that like everybody is getting transparent. We're not there to flex. We're not there to say, oh, big me, little you. That's not what, I don't play that because I will put you out, grab you by your ear. Y'all remember, do y'all remember, what's love got to do with it? When she was singing in the church and they grabbed her out by her ear? Yeah, okay, I will do that to you. Right out of OakkHaus, right on, okay, anyway, I digress. But my point is, if you're feeling like you're alone in building, you've been to these classes, you've done everything. Shout out to Sandy White. Hi, Sandy. Thank you. You know, if you've been to these programs and you're saying, I still haven't found my place. I have not found my tribe, my people. I'm looking for something more. Make sure you head over to the MWBEconference.com, click on Capacity Building Program. All you need to do is take the survey. The survey is so that we can grab information because one of the things that we do is we are going to gather data. Yes. Because data is what drives the program. It's what pushes the program forward so we know what you need, right? So we're going to do that. You're gonna, what you gonna say?
It's the blueprint.
It's the blueprint.
In order for you to learn where you were and where you're going, you have to look at data.
You have to look at it. Even if it's hard, right? So even if it's difficult to fill the survey out, because I'm telling you, I already know that it was difficult to talk about things like, to say like, is my credit where it needs to be? To click, needs work. That takes a lot of courage. You have to humble yourself because you want to say, I'm on the radio. You want to say, heck yeah, 850. You want to say that, but is that reality? No. And I know too many business owners, right? Is that your credit score?
No.
I was about to say, co-sign for me a new car.
All I said is we judge it. Like, you know, some people didn't do so hot, but they really doing it. You know, it's not me.
But this is, y'all see this foolishness that's taking place in here? This is what goes on, right? But if you are feeling like, you know, I want to be a part of something, it is not too late to join. Okay, you will still be able to walk into this synergy, this energy, to be a part of this capacity building program. The only thing you missed was Extreme Connection, the first class, the syllabus, and that you still have time. And the reason I said that is because I'm like, I don't want to close anyone out. And one woman emailed me and said, I totally misconstrued the date. And so is it okay if I join? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay. So if you head over to the MWBEconference.com right now and you click on capacity building program, make sure you read over it. And I don't want you to join because of this, but one person from our cohort will be getting a $1,000 capacity building grant, right? And that will go towards their business so that they can continue to thrive in their business, build in their business, do all of the things that they need to do, you know, for their business. I mean, y'all gonna have to stretch it because I'm gonna have some strict guidance. I'm joking. But yes, one person will walk away with that on graduation day. It will be presented that day. And so I'm excited about what's going on. We have 2 minutes. Wait, which one is right? Is it? Okay, 2 minutes. One gave me an extra minute, and y'all already know when you return. Right. That 1 minute is stretch. That closing, and I'm closing. And it's 15 minutes later. Okay. Hello. Take it back. But, you know, thank you. Thank you to all of y'all for showing up. Thank you for committing to your business, for, you know, actually showing up, because it's one thing to say I want to be a part and it's a whole nother to show up. So shout out to every business that was in the room. Shout out to my people in the booth today. Oh my God, it's packed. I'm going to want this every week. I'm not going to know what to do. I'm not going to know what to do when I'm by myself with one other person. Okay. Shout out to y'all. But this has been Blueprint the Culture. Make sure that you join us here every week. It's 1080 a.m., Power 96.5 FM. And if you want to watch the recaps, you can head over to the MWBEconference.com, click on Blueprint the Culture, and you'll be able to find those. Thank y'all. We love y'all.
Yes, thank you.